Hi there, this is Solitary from Solitary Films, and welcome to another episode of One Director, Four Films. Today's director is the wonderful Kieslowski, who is in my top 3 directors, top 5 directors, something like that. Again, I need to do a re-ranking at some point, but I've got a ton to watch before I do that. Again, if you're unfamiliar with the series, one fundamental choice: the film that sums up the director for you, your favourite, an underseen, underrated gem, and a flounder, the film that just doesn't quite land with you. With Kieslowski, who sadly didn't make that many films, I'm not counting his documentaries that he made before he started doing fiction features. There's not really a flounder, but I've made a choice anyway, because you kind of have to. That's the whole purpose. So for fundamental, again, this might be a slight cheat, but it's not really. It's Decalogue. This, along with Human Condition, is one of those films or series of films that is just fundamental to cinema. If you were making a 10 desert island disc to sum up cinema, I think Decalogue would have to be in there. The Polish TV series based on the 10 Commandments, 10 episodes. Each one is just an astounding achievement. Not really anything else that needs to be said about Decalogue. It's just monumental and stunningly good. For my favourite, again, as Kieslowski's one of my favourites, I could pretty much almost pick all of these films. I'm going to go with Trois Couleurs Bleues, with Juliette Binoche, part of the Three Colours, strangely enough. Absolutely perfect, great score by Zbigniew Preisner. Again, there's really not much to say. Fantastic. For the underrated gem, again, it's a wee bit difficult, but I'm going to go with Camera Buff, one of his early funny ones. Again, this is actually a really good film about the filmmaking process. Regular from Decalogue in his early films. About a man who gets a camera, starts filming everything, gets suggested that he film stuff for the local council, but then starts getting pressure on what he's filming and why he's filming it, and he gets edited and censored. It's Kieslowski having a go at Poland and the authorities at the time, but not in an overt way, but in a very sly and wonderful way. It's one of the great films about filmmaking and the pressures on outside forces on what you're actually trying to film, and therefore about filmmaking itself and the obsession as camera, as the eye. It has lots of humour, but it also has a wonderful message, starring regular Jersey Stir, which I'll probably mispronounce badly. So the underrated one is Camera Buff, but again, with Kieslowski, perhaps underrated is a little bit difficult, as is the flounder. But I'm going to go with The Scar, just because it's my least favourite of his early ones. But it's still a very good film, again about a man who gets hired as this company's going to build a factory in this community, but he ends up being the middleman, again, between the community and the powers that be. So again, this is just another veiled attack on the powers that be in Poland at the time. again, it's a good film. It's a really good film, but it's the one that I go back to the least probably. And this is Kieslowski really just finding his feet, making fiction films. This has a kind of documentary feel, the way it's shot as well, which is no surprise considering that's where he came from. Still a good film, but it's just the one that I probably watched the least out of Kieslowski's catalogue. But again, by no means a bad film. So that's my choices for Kieslowski, but again, the whole point of this series is to see your choices, so please leave them in the comments below. A fundamental, a favourite, a gem, and a flounder for the wonderful Kieslowski. So thanks so much for watching. This is Solitary Ronan from Solitary Ronan Films, saying farewell.